Hello, I'm Bret and you're watching The Defining Moment for Creating the Culture of Conscience. Our guest today is Imam Haitham Bundakji. Imam Bundakji is the Vice Chairman of the Islamic Society of Orange County, California, which is the largest Islamic society in the western United States. Dr. Bundakji was born in Jordan and has lived in the U.S. for the past 40 years. He's married. He has 8 children and 3 grandchildren. Imam Haitham Bundakji, once again, welcome back to The Defining Moment. It's really a pleasure for me to welcome you here to our studio today.
It's an honor for me to be back here. Thank you, and God bless you, and thank you for the invitation.
Thanks for coming. Our topic today is cultivating a universal worldview in a sectarian society. And I'd like to begin by asking you to please share with us the transformation you've been experiencing recently.
If you would allow me first to share a short prayer in Arabic. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Amen. Well, I just turned 60 years old last month. And from the birthday, from my 59th birthday till now, I have been struggling within myself about the new paradigm that I have adopted, or I'm adopting and I'm working on for myself, for my new self, for the new Imam, the new chaplain, the new person, the new father, the new brother, the new human being above all. And what has affected me is the continuous struggle that I promised myself to do throughout my life, the inner struggle, that is, the positive one that I'm experiencing. And coupled with external forces as well. So the inner forces and the external forces are working in a very positive way. Even the negative experiences and the negative external forces have turned to be positive ones in my life. And good or bad, dark or light, I'm enjoying it. I have tough moments. And good moments. Alhamdulillah. So I'm taking everything that comes to me in a positive way. Although I must admit to you that I'm a very weak human being as well, in many ways, and a very strong in other ways. But what keeps me together is what I believe: my humility, my love to God, and the company that surrounds me. There are people from the unification movement, as well as Mormons, as well as Muslims, as well as Jews, that are affecting my life in a very positive way, despite the fact that I've lost a great friend by the name of Steve LaFond, who was a chaplain at the Garden Grove Police Department, a great Mormon, a great friend, a true brother. But I know that he's in the spiritual world praying for me and for my transformation. And I believe he may be preparing a good place for me and asking God to forgive me for my shortcomings as well. And that's what keeps me going. Friends that I meet all the time give me the strength to continue my journey of transformation. In this sectarian society, it's not easy to reach the goal that you wanted to reach unless you have true faith and true love. And I have it. I'm persistent. And by the grace of the Almighty, with love and faith, I'm marching on, nonstop. Now, it's been good 13 months since I embarked on this transformation. I want it to be unlike what sectarian governments wanted me to be. They wanted us to be identified to a group of people only. He's one of them, not one of us. Or he's one of us, not one of them. I am growing to despise this word, this term, this mentality. I want it to belong to everyone. God's family. It's only one family under God. And that's the family I want it to belong to. And that's the family that I believe I belong to. I no longer want it to be identified in the political terms with a passport that has the seal of just one group, one country, if you will. I would love to see a passport that belongs to everyone, to all humanity, and all humanity belong to that passport. This is the land of God, the skies of God, the universe of God, the family of God. And that this is the feeling and the transformation that I'm developing. Whether I am called a Muslim, a Christian, a Buddhist, a Jew, a Baha'i, or anything. Your relationship with God is your relationship with God. You understand it the way you wanted to understand it. I don't mind explaining to you my state of mind and my preference, and I will accept your explanation and your belief and your choice. So you are mine and I am yours, and we are together in it, no matter what. If you don't like me, please do not dislike me. You may dislike what I said or what I did, but do not punish me for it severely. Try to understand me. Try to love me unconditionally, because I love you unconditionally. I may, as I said, dislike what you said or what you did. I may take a position towards that. I don't want to even use the word a position against that, because I don't like the against. I don't like the hatred. I don't like any negative word that comes from my mouth as we grow up and learn these words. Sometimes we use them accidentally. But our conscience has to be awake. The new transformation, Bret, led me to go to the trash can and pick up one page of paper and put it in the recycle bin, because it doesn't belong in the trash can. It belongs in the recycle bin that humanity can benefit from, and the environment will not be affected by it in a negative way. Maybe this is one leaf less to cut from a tree, living tree. So my love and my transformation is not limited to human beings, to everything. We have to strive to reach the highest level that God allows us and our ability allows us to reach. And that transformation is a marching on transformation in my life. I did not borrow this word from anybody. I did not learn it except in the English language. I learned it from the dictionary. but did not learn it in such a way that I would borrow it one day. It just came like, hi, hello, how are you, good morning, good evening. A word that I learned in the language of the new country that I came to 40 years ago and I love, along with all the countries in the world.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing from your heart what you've been experiencing. Why do you believe that the future of the world depends on individuals who are able to transcend their own narrow sectarian viewpoints?
Bret, it's obvious. It's obvious. The world is suffering a lot. High cost of living, wars, killing, prejudice, hatred. And if they drop all that, and if they drop the selfishness, they will benefit, the world will benefit. This kind of transformation is a win-win situation for everybody.
Tell us more about the benefits of transcending one's own religious, racial, ethnic, or socioeconomic viewpoints and cultivating a universal worldview.
Well, they talk about globalization. If we use the word globalization and practice it truly, we may benefit. But we as selfish human beings are misusing it as we misuse our powers, as we misuse our wealth. If we start using love and become selfless, then we do not look at people because they practice one religion or another, because they have one gender or another, because they have one skin color or another, or their state of wealth, whether they're rich or poor. If we look at these people as our own brothers and sisters in humanity, and look at them, look at the positive side of these people, look how we can enhance our relationship, then we can please the Almighty, the Creator. We in Islam cannot use the word Father for God, but the Creator, that we belong to Him. And I pray to Allah, God, that I'm not disobeying my beliefs, Islamic beliefs, by saying the Father of all. But if we look at Him as that, if we look at ourselves as we all are the family, or Christianity use children of God, then we can live a much better life, much more comfortable life. We can love our own selves. We can respect our own selves. The tranquility has to begin within yourself. If you have tranquility, if you have self-respect for yourself, then you can pass that to others. Because if you don't have something, you can't give it to others. If you lack something, you can't give it to others. So it has to be from within, genuine. So with that kind of feeling, as I mentioned, my Christian friends, my friends from the Unification Movement, my friends from the Jewish faith, and so on and so forth, they are my brothers and my friends, and I love them dearly. I love them dearly, and the reason I love them dearly is because of the transformation, is because of my true faith, true love to the Creator. Because our Prophet, peace be upon him, Muhammad said, I'll say it in Arabic and I'll translate it. Wallahi lan tadkhulu al-jannata hatta tu'minu, wa lan tu'minu hatta tahabu. That means, by the name of God, that you will not enter paradise until you become true believers. And you will not become true believers unless and until you love one another. If we wanted to be true believers, we have to truly love one another. And put aside the selfish feeling about the status of another person. If he is less fortunate than you are, bring him to your level. Embrace him or embrace her. Embrace her. And that's the only way. And that's what I'm reaching if I didn't reach that already.
Okay, so what I hear in what you're saying is that one of the great benefits is your life becomes much richer in terms of the wide variety and diverse groups of people that you can embrace and, in a sense, have your life enriched by them.
Well said. Thank you so much.
All right, now there's also a potential downside to having the courage to transcend a sectarian worldview in favor of adopting a universal one, in terms of people misunderstanding or having misperceptions about your loyalty to the group in which you belong. Tell us about that.
You know, there's a big void in this world, and you sitting in that chair asking me such a question, you filled that void because you really know how to ask these questions. This question definitely crossed my mind more often than not. It took me, believe it or not, 11 months to share this transformation with my wife. I just shared it recently with her. She didn't understand. And the reason I didn't share it with her, or anybody else for that matter, is simply because I was thinking about what people are going to think, why Imam Bundakji is saying what he's saying, and do they understand it or not. When I told my wife I am becoming or became a borderless, I use the word borderless because I don't want the political borders. Borderless. I talked about the passport, the one passport. Borderless man, universal man. She said, what do you mean by borderless man? I said, you know what? I knew you're not going to.
Please take your time.
I know that the closest one to me, the one that sees me day in and day out, will have difficulty understanding me, although she trusts me. She knows that I'm genuine. But she said, I just wanted to understand what you really mean. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you. Or doubt you. It's just something new. You didn't tell me. I said, well, when you're baking bread, you don't put it on the table until it's done, cooked.
Okay.
So I'm still baking.
Right.
Within myself. Baking the ideas.
Yes.
Cooking within myself. I spent hours and hours talking to myself, thinking with myself, as I have in the past, with my first defining moment of my life. There are people that will misunderstand anything you say, no matter what. In fact, they'll misunderstand you when you don't say anything. I do not look at it with an ill feeling. I look at it as a feeling with less understanding and with a heart that needs to be opened more. As I feel that my heart has opened during my first journey of my defining moments.
So what do you say to leaders and colleagues who question your loyalty to your faith?
Well, I've experienced this before. In my first defining moment, my first transformation, when I talked about the Jews, and I became to embrace the Christians and the Jews more than ever, and it was the first time for the Jews, as a matter of fact. But the Christians, I never had any problems really with the Christians or others. they had flyers with my picture calling me Danny the Jew. It bothered me at that time because I was not what I am today. It really bothered me a lot at that time. In fact, I may have prayed against some of these people, which I would not do that today. But it'll give me more power and more hope to transform them. Because I, as a leader of the community, one of the leaders of the community, my job is not a selfish job where it stops here with me. I have to disseminate the information to other people. It's my duty. It's my job. You know, when I was honored with the doctorate degree in sacred theology at UTS, Unification Theological Seminary in New York, I told them that before this honor, I felt as I was enlisted soldier. Today, I feel that I'm a sergeant, not a general, just a sergeant that has much more work to do. And my relationship with genuine people, as the ones that I met time and time again in the unification movement, gave me the courage to come forward to your show and share it. I was reluctant to tell my own family, let alone coming to a show like yours and share it, because I know that many people view your program. So I don't have a problem dealing with these leaders. I know how to reach out to them. I know that I'm going to have some struggle with some of the narrow-minded people that I love, but I'm positive that I will overcome many of these obstacles.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And what advice would you give to someone who like yourself, comes to adopt a universal worldview and then is given an ultimatum to abandon that or suffer being thrown out of their religious society or ostracized from their community?
You know, I have experienced this about 7, 8, or 10 years ago. Again, I told you that I was called Danny the Jew, and many people thought that, you know, I've sold my belief, I've sold my religion, I've sold my principles. Well, if you're confident with what you're doing, if you have strong faith in God, in yourself, in the way that you have been raised, and in your reputation, people will turn around and come back and respect you and love you for that. Because Father Moon, an example, he suffered a lot. He was doubted a lot by many, many people. And he emerged very strong because of his clean past. I would like to take this opportunity and share with people my pleasure and how much I was moved when I learned about how God saved Dr. and Mrs. Moon after that big crash in their helicopter in Korea. They all came out safe. 10 minutes after they evacuated the crashed plane, it burst in fire. And that tells people that God is looking after good people such as Reverend and Mrs. Moon and the 14 other people which were with them. Our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, also, when he said that he is the Prophet of Allah, the Messenger of Allah, came to tell people, you know, people were reluctant to call him a liar. Some people didn't believe him because of his past. They knew him before he became a prophet at the age of 40. He lived 40 years before he received the revelation. So his past and his reputation helped him a lot to be believed by the people surrounding him. And I pray, I ask God that I have build some reputation that would help me come through.
Okay, thank you so much. How can people go about educating themselves toward adopting a universal worldview while at the same time being able to have that certainty and conviction that you talk about, that their new paradigm of understanding is absolutely God-centered?
Ignorance is your worst enemy. Go out there, meet people, love people, give it your best shot. Then you can learn a lot. That's the best way of education, trying to understand people truly. Look at the positive side of people. And before you point the finger at one person, remember that 3 fingers point back at you. If you take that philosophy and use it philosophy and think of it as a philosophy, but remember it as you talk to people, you will come to learn how to love, how to respect other people, and how to transform yourself to become a universal, borderless man. Have faith in God, have faith in yourself, and be genuine. Love others. They will see it in your eyes, they'll see it in your face, and you can overcome anything. But you have to really be patient, and do not unload what you've loaded to yourself in years in 1 or 2 sessions and expect people to absorb it and take it. Give it to them in small doses. They'll take it. Even the best medicine for your health, for your body, if you take it in one big dose, unlike the one that your physician prescribed to you, it'll be damaging. If you understand that, go slowly but surely. You'll overcome.
Okay, that's beautiful. Dr. Haitham Bundakji, I want to thank you so much for having been our guest today on The Defining Moment. It's really, as always, a deep pleasure for me to have you here as our guest. Thank you so much for having been here.
Thank you.
You've been watching The Defining Moment for Creating the Culture of Conscience. You can find us on the internet at www.definingmoment.tv. Thanks for watching and have a great day.